What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Armon, and we are live in the studio back with another video. Listen, if you're a returning subscriber, then you know how this thing goes. If you're a new subscriber, welcome and hello. All right, y'all. So we want to get into some things. Shout out to everybody. I'm seeing everybody coming into the chat, just kind of coming in. So I usually don't do movie reviews. However, this was a great movie, okay? Queen and Slim. If you have not seen it, you should go see the movie. There will be some spoilers in this review. However, it was a great movie. I got a chance to actually see the movie yesterday with my dad. I call him up. I'm like, hey, what are you doing today? He's like, nothing. What are you doing? I'm like, let's go to the movie. He's like, sure. Who's all going? I'm like, you tell me. So he calls my mom, my brother. Dad buys all the tickets, so we go to the movie. I hadn't even really heard about it. Like, I really wasn't too sure about the movie. My man told me about it. And so I was like, all right, let me look at the previews. They're like the Black Bonnie and Clyde. So I'm all in for action movies like that. And I'm definitely all in for Black people getting their revenge all over the police, right? So I went to the movies. I seen it. It was a phenomenal movie. I see people saying the movie was way too long. Now, here's what I say. Like, I liked how it opened up. Now, I'll be honest with you, and I was with my brother too. So the characters, before we get into it, the characters were Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner. Now, I'm horrible with names, and I really don't know actors like that. And I didn't even know these two were from freaking Europe. You know what I'm saying? So I got to brush up on my movie stuff. However, they did really good together. So it opens up with them in a restaurant. Basically, this is Queen and that's Slim. So Queen is more of the character, she's had a lot go on in her past. Like, she's guarded. She's kind of harsh. You know what I mean? She's an attorney. She really doesn't have a lot of personality because in her life, she's dealt with a lot, but she's on this journey of trying to be vulnerable, in my opinion, and then find love and be softer. But she's gone through so much that she's had to become this hard figure, right? So, because I'm looking at her, I'm like, I'm gonna watch my words with this, but I'm like, girl, you getting taken out on this date. You have an attitude with this man. Like, she was very rude. She was like kind of sharp. She was annoying. I'm like, I see why, men wouldn't date, women like you, because, girl, I probably would have walked up out of the date. Like, she was trying to tell him how to eat, and she was, she was being a little bit of a bitch. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And so Slim, he's more cool. They were sitting at a Black-owned restaurant, and the Black lady had she messed up the order on the food, and then he wanted scrambled eggs, but she made them sunny side up. Now, Queen wanted him to, basically return the eggs because she got them wrong. And he was like, no, she comes through my line all the time. We're not going to, I don't want to make a big deal out of this because this is a Black-owned business. She got kids. It's not that serious. So I thought that was good. I liked through the movie, there was this idea of Black support. Like, there was this idea of Black people sticking together and supporting one another. So as the movie goes, they get pulled over by the police. And the police is, looking for a problem. The police is literally trying to find an issue with every single thing that he could, and so what ends up happening is they get into this scuffle. I'm trying not to spoil it for the people that haven't seen it yet, but I want you to know that you need to see it. Okay, so they end up getting into like this little scuffle, and he ends up killing the cop. So boom, they're on the run, right? And so at that moment, I'm like, I'm happy, in my mind. I'm like, that movie took me through so many emotions because I'm like, finally, we're feeling vindicated. Finally, I was with them, and I was like so happy. I was like, that's what he gets, and the whole movie theater, you can feel it. Like it was a lot of black people, a lot of Hispanics in the movie, and you could feel like we were all happy, we were all cheering, right? And so as they go through this journey of, being on the run, essentially, like he wants to call home and go and call his dad and, basically let his dad know, like, hey, I messed up. And she's like, no, you don't have time. We don't have time for that. You are a black man in America that just killed a cop. You are now a criminal. We need to go. We need to go. Like, literally, we're on the run. I mean, all of this, I blame her. You know what I'm saying? I think the smarter thing to do would have kind of stayed. But in that situation, you're really not too sure what to do. So they end up going on the run. And they end up going through these, I'm trying not to spoil it for you guys, but they have these different scenarios in the movie where, the car might break down or, they just want to take a break. But as they run into different black people, all the black people essentially know who they are. And they have and the black people are supporting them and helping them out and like having their back, right? So they end up going to New Orleans to her uncle's house because they were like, well, we need a place to stay. And so they end up going to her Uncle Earl's house. I like Uncle Earl. Uncle Earl was like this pimp daddy. Uncle Earl was with the shit. Now, gotta give you a little tea. They needed a car from Uncle Earl. Uncle Earl was like, yo, y'all not getting to stay at my house. She's like, well, Uncle Earl, you owe me. So Uncle Earl ended up, she was a lawyer, so she ended up getting her Uncle Earl out of jail for killing her mother. Yeah, so you got to watch the movie to understand why. So Uncle Earl was like, you know what? I got your back, this, that, and the third. But what I appreciated about this movie, like there's a lot of layers to this movie. They had India Moore in the movie as like Uncle Earl had like a house full of girls. You know what I mean? Like Uncle Earl was like a pimp. And so he had like, 3, 4 5 different girls in the house. And India Moore was one of the girls. And she's transgender. But they didn't exploit her transgenderness. Like they let her be a female. And she was like the main chick. Like she was Uncle Earl's girl. Like she was hugging, she was sitting on his lap. Like they really allowed her to play a female. So I'm like, oh wow. Like they didn't talk about trans, anything. She was literally a woman in the movie. And I was like, okay. And listen, so I'm there with my man and my brother, my dad and my mom. And they don't even know that this is a transgender until I told them at the end of the movie. They didn't believe me. Yes. So a lot of people don't know that she's trans. And what I liked about it was because you didn't know, you didn't judge her. Like I don't think anybody in the movie really knew that she was trans. So I thought that was super, 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 super dope. And so anyway, they're at the Uncle Earl's house. Uncle Earl gives them, sets them up to go to meet this white family. Now on this journey, because the whole thing was they were trying to go to Cuba. Okay, leave the country. Now on this journey, you have Queen that they have went on this date. And, like I said, she's kind of emotionally unattached or she doesn't like to be vulnerable. And he is kind of like, I wouldn't say a nerd, but he hasn't really lived life. Like he didn't smoke. He's never drank before. He's very, kind of nerdy, if you will. And so on this journey, like, they were kind of doing things that they had never done before because at the end of the day, they never knew if they were going to, make it or not. And so for me, it really resonated with me because it's like you should really appreciate the things in life while you're here because you don't know if you're really going to be here tomorrow or not. So you know what? If you want to do something, you should do it. So like, they were driving down the street and they seen horses. So she wanted to park her car and pet the horses. And he had never ridden a horse before. And so he's like, you know what, fuck it, let's ride a horse. So they got on the horse and rode the horse. They're driving down the highway and they sticking their bodies out of the car and flying down the highway with their bodies out of the car. He finally took a drink. He had never drank before. There were a lot of moments that you could tell like they were just living while they were on the run. They were literally living their lives. You know what I mean? And then as they went to these different pit stops, there was this one part at the bar. What I really liked. They were at the bar and it was all black bar. And this is to be typical black people. Like I loved it. And I wish more of us were like that. But they were at the bar and Slim wanted to go and dance. And she was like, well, we can't dance. We're going to get caught. He's like, no, let's just go dance. So anyway, they go in there and they dance. And he goes to try to get a drink. He goes and gets her a drink. And the bartender goes, do you want a drink? He was like, I don't drink. And she was like, you should start. Because she knew who he was. And then when he tried to pay for it, she gave it to him for free. And he told her, and the bartender told her, you're safe here with us. Like, you're safe. So everybody in there knew that they had killed the police. And so they danced and you got this old lady. The old lady looks at them. And this is the black people shit for real. The old lady looks and she does like this to him. Like, I see you. Like, good job. You know what I mean? Like, keep it going. And my heart just started feeling so warm. Like, I was going through a lot of emotions during this movie. Like, I swear to God, I was going through emotions because, they were literally on the run, but they didn't do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? But they were damned if they did it. They were damned if they didn't. So they were like, fuck it. Like, that was destiny. And they just literally, they essentially made history. Like doing this, and they had the support of the community. And then another part that really kind of got me was when their car broke down and they had to go to the mechanic. Now, this dude, he was a little bit of a dick. Now, this was a black dude. He knew who they were as well. But he didn't agree with them. He just felt like they should have did what the cop said, whatever the case may be. But however, he wasn't there, so he doesn't actually know what happened. But his son really looked up to Queen and Slim. So the mechanic had a son. Oh my God, that was the son part really took me out. The son part took me out. So the son ends up takes them on this walk, and talks about becoming immortal, and the son tells them that he's going on a what was it? A protest. He was doing a protest for them. So they were having a protest in the city for them. Like, so this whole city was protesting that the police let them be free, right? And so the son goes to the protest the next day. And I didn't like this part of the movie. And this is a spoiler, but I didn't like this part of the movie. So the son goes to the protest, protesting Queen and Slim, and takes a gun to the protest. And, at the protest, the police are, throwing the tear gas and telling people to leave. They can't be there, this, that, and the third. And then you had a black police officer trying to be cool, telling the little boy, hey, you can't be here. You got to go. The little boy is like, no, what are you going to do? You're going to shoot me? The little boy is being very confrontational, but you can tell the little boy wanted to die for something. Like, you know what I mean? He wanted to feel important, like, and he felt so inspired by them. It was creepy and crazy. So the little boy pulls out a gun and shoots the police officer in the face. And my thing is, why did it have to be a black police officer that he shot in the face that was trying to do the right thing? And so obviously the little boy got murdered. They killed the little boy. So that was really, really sad. That was the first part that took me out. That was the first part that really, really made me sad. And then The white people. No, not that part. Another part that I lived for was going back to when they were at the car dealership. This picture was actually taken at the car dealership. So when they were at the car dealership, he snuck and called his dad, right? But the dad, the FBI, the police, they were all at the dad's house. He didn't know that the police were at the dad's house. Now, he was calling his dad. He hadn't called his dad at all. But the police were trying to track to see where they were at. So he called his dad just to let his dad know that he loved him. And he was about to tell the dad where he was going to go and what he was going to do next. And the dad hung up in his face. Now, he don't know why the dad hung up in his face. However, the dad hung up in his face because the police were there trying to tap the location. And the dad was like, y'all not going to get my son. And I was like, yo, this is my pops written all over. Like, my dad would have did the same thing. And so I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, having a relationship with your dad is like, I know what that's like. Like, I know what that's like to be like, I need to call my dad. I need to call my dad. Like, I don't care if I talk to anybody. I need to call my dad. And I'm like, ugh. And all he wanted to do is kind of call his dad. And then that got me because I'm like, if that was the last conversation I would have with my dad, it would probably destroy me because I love my dad so much. You know what I mean? And I know it would destroy my dad because he wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So that was good. And then they got to this white family. Oh my God. And of course you have the white nosy neighbor. She got on my nerves. The nosy white neighbor, she got on my nerves. But the white family, so there was a $250,000 bounty. Now the white woman, the wife of the white man, they were very supportive. So, you know, this also made me like white people because there's a lot of good white people out there. And there's a lot of white people that will stick behind you more than your own people. And I think this was also a lesson to learn. Like, a lot of people that you think ride for you won't ride for you because it be your own people that'll fuck you over. Doesn't, and that could be, it be on, like, it could be straight people versus straight people, gay people and straight people, black people and men and women. You get what I'm saying? White and black, whatever. But the people that you think will have your back, sometimes they don't. But the people that you would least expect it, they really had your back. And like, that white family was willing to go down for these two. You know what I mean? Like, let them, you know, basically take the car, gave them shelter, hid them. Like, they could have used that $500,000 bounty, but they didn't sell them out. You know what I mean? That white man, he sat there and he lied to the police. Even the wife, she didn't like them, but she stuck by her husband's side and had their back, and they had their back for what was right, you know? And I was very appreciative to see that being shown in the movie because I feel like there is a lot of white people and a lot of non-black people that don't get a lot of recognition for, you know, supporting and understanding some of the things that we go through. So it was nice to see that, you know, there are good people out there that are not the same color or race as you. And so I thought that was really good. So that was cool. I liked that part of the movie. I liked when there was a scene where they were actually trying to be on the run, like they were actually trying to leave the house of the white couple. However, the police had it like barricaded off, like they were surrounding the house, but they managed to sneak into the garage. But there was a black police guy, and you could tell he was getting to it with his white coworkers. They would talk down to him. It's like not literally down to him, but in a way where he kind of felt like they were trying him, like, you know, they were giving him like that boy talk, you know, like boy. And, you know, he ain't like that. So, anywho, Queen asked, her character was a little annoying to me because she just would sometimes, she came across like angry, mad black woman, like no shade. Like she did, like she came across like that. I'm like, girl, I hope they really make it clear why her character is like this. Because, girl, this is not the representation that we need about the black women because, girl, this is going to feed into narratives of why people don't want to date. black women, because it's like, girl, she had a lot of attitude. She was just very extra. She was just a little bit annoying. However, as you got into her, you started to realize she had been through a lot. Well, so anywho, so make a long story short, the black police officer ends up catching them trying to escape and then lets them go and doesn't say anything. So I'm like, yes. So I'm thinking they're on their way. Now I'm going to tell you guys what happened at the end. So I don't know if you guys are down for this full-on spoiler, but it will be a full spoiler. So they get in the car and they're trying to get to this guy's house who's going to connect them with the plane so that they can go to Cuba. So, they're having their moments. It was like this was like a love story mixed with a horror story, mixed with comedy. It was a lot of different emotions going through here. And through this journey, they were finding themselves. Like I said before, they were doing things, and they started to fall in love. Oh, bitch. And there was a spicy sex scene. Oh my God, the sex scene was so uncomfortable for me because I'm in there with my family and they showing areola, nipples, and they showing the boy booty. I'm like, he got a big old fat butt, and then they got her titties out and they got her booty out and they riding. And I'm like, oh my God, like they're really not holding back. They were really not holding back. It was a spicy sex scene. It was sickening too. I'm like, oh my God. Like it was giving a lot, okay? And so, anyway, so after that, so they get to the final destination where they actually are going to get connected with the airplane. So, girl, it's this ghetto nigga with a grill. He live in the trailer park. You know what I'm saying? He's connecting them to the guy with the plane. Mind you, all this was set up by the uncle. Like the uncle told them where to go to the white guy, to the white family. And the white family led them to the black guy who was supposed to lead them to the guy with the plane to take them to Cuba. So everything was working. So they went to the guy's house. So they finally got to the guy that was going to connect them to the plane. This was another black guy. And so, they're like, all right, I'm going to take you to the plane, blah, 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 blah. They get in the car. He convinces them to smoke weed. He goes, y'all really some heroes for black people. Y'all really gave, niggas something to, be appreciative for. Like, we really respect you. We really appreciate you. And they're driving and they get to the plane. And the black dude just speeds off. And bitch, the whole SWAT, police, everybody come. All the police. I'm like, girl, are you serious? So girl, we was never gonna win. Like we wasn't gonna win. Like we was not gonna win. So the whole police, everybody come. I'm like, oh my God. So now they like, put your hands up. You're under arrest. I'm crying. My stepmom crying. My brother teary. I'm like, oh my God. I'm holding back the tear. I'm like this. I'm like, girl, I don't cry in movies. I don't even really go to watch movies. I'm like, girl, I'm getting emotional. I'm crying in the movie. I could cry thinking about it because they was on their way. And then they turn around, they holding hands, and they say, get on your knees, get on your knees. And then Queen say to him, she like, I will never let your hand go. And then some stupid lady, the police come and just shoot her. So she just falls to the ground. And he looks at her while she on the ground. And then this is really what took me out, bitch. I'm telling you, this took me out. At that point, I was just... in my mind, like it's over. Like it took me out, okay? And like my heart was broken. She fell, right? And he got down on his knees and he touched her and I think he kissed her. Then he lifted her up and she like this. She just like that, dead. And he walking with her like that. And they like, stop walking, stop walking. And he walking, and he walking, and he walking towards the police. And they just started, all of them just started shooting them. Boom, pow. And he just, pow, 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 pow. With her in his arms though. Pow, 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 pow. And he fell, and she fell on top of him. Like, he was gonna lift her up and like, oh, I felt that. I felt that. I felt that. Let me tell you something. I felt that. Okay? That was everything to me. That was everything to me. That evoked so much emotion. They did a damn good job on that. Oh, and it wasn't a dry eye in there. And then we like, well, how did they find out? How did they find out what happened? Like, how did the police know? Like, who told? Then they pan around. This one, I was like, girl, I couldn't even be mad because it's so true. It's so true. It's so true. It's so true. And I hate that it has to be put out there like this. It's so true. They showed a $500,000 with the black man, the nigga living in the trailer. He's sitting there eating cup of noodles with his grill and his $500,000. They was almost there, but you gave it to the dusty, dirty nigga and leave it to him. He sold them out for the cash. It'd be your own. It wasn't the white man. It wasn't the uncle. It wasn't the pilot. It was the nigga. The grimy, ghetto, dusty nigga. And it's so true. It's so true. Ugh. It's so true. And they'll smile in your face and pretend that they're your friend. And they'll do anything to fucking get $1. Ugh. I was so disgusted. Ugh. 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 Of course, it was the black guy. Of course. Out of all people, it was the fucking black guy. With nothing to lose. Oof. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad because I'm like, you know what? I can't even be mad at the movie because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, I wanted to be mad at the writer and the producer because I wanted us to win because I felt like through the whole movie they had us gassed up, they had us excited because we have felt like yes, we finally got revenge. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm like I felt like yeah, we can. When on my way to see the movie, I'm like this is the revenge we need. Like fuck them police up. Like, this is the justice that we need. Fuck them up. Fuck them up. And you think you winning through the whole movie. We think we winning. Black people supporting. They got the fist up. We winning. This is justice. They're going to escape. And then it's the fucking nigga that sell you out for $1. God damn, if that ain't the truth, I don't know what is. Shit. That's why you can't even really be mad at white people. You can't be mad at this Hispanic. You can't be mad at none of them because guess what? They not the one that'll sell you out. It be your own brother that'll sell your ass out. Well, but guys, it was a really good movie. I wanted to give you guys that review. If you haven't seen it, go see it. And then maybe in a week or so, we'll bring the topic back so everybody can go see it. But it's a very, 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 very good movie. Y'all know I don't do movie reviews, but I had to on that one. It was a very good movie. All right, y'all. I might come back with some more videos after this, but I just want to kind of give y'all my thoughts on that. It was very good. I loved it. Shout out to them. It was very, like, it had my spirit in so many different ways. I loved it. And I love you guys. And we'll come back for a Saturday Night Kiki. So stay tuned, and I'll see you soon. Bye.